Hello my beautiful friends, it's your girl Eileen. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I recently made a little poll asking if y'all would be interested in seeing like a little 2-year update, being that it's my 2-year anniversary of being an esthetician, a working esthetician, about a couple of days ago, and a lot of y'all said yes, and it's something that I wanted to do anyway, so even if y'all said no, I would have done it. Alright, so before we get started, if you like to watch YouTube videos while you're eating, go ahead and get comfortable. I'm the same way. I always like to watch something while I'm eating my food. This will be a good like sit down, you know. Or if you like to watch videos while you're doing something like cleaning or, you know, getting ready, this is also the right video for you. But in all seriousness, I wanted to start off by just kind of introducing myself and who I am. Like I said, my name is Eileen. I am an esthetician. I graduated in 2019 and it is currently 2021. Can y'all believe it? Time flies. Let me go ahead and start off by telling y'all that when I was in high school, I went to a career high school and I was actually in the cosmetology program. So fun fact, I do have my cosmetology license, but another fun fact, I let it expire this year. So I'm just not good at hair, honestly. Like all the hair and nails and everything else, it's fun. I like to do it. You know what? Let me go ahead and backtrack even more, because when I was about to be a freshman, my mom was like, pick a pathway, and there was pathways like health science and business and auto, all kinds of stuff that, you know, the traditional route, you know, would be very, very like convincing, you know, like, yeah, my kid's in health science. Your girl chose cosmetology. You know why? Because I like to do nail art when I was like 14. So who would have thought that because I like to do nail art when I was 14 years old, I would become an esthetician? Not me. But yes, so I was in the cosmetology program. It was a 4-year program. The first 2 years were very much just reading out of a textbook, learning how to braid hair, stuff that everybody pretty much already knows how to do. But your junior and senior year is when you're actually on the floor, like doing haircuts, doing actual like hands-on stuff. So another fun fact, I don't know why these are not fun facts, this is just facts. But since I was in a career high school, we didn't have sports, we didn't have homecoming, we didn't have stuff like that. And they would always say your pathway is your sports. That being said, we would go to things like competitions, so Skills USA, stuff like that. And you know, I don't know what happened, but I decided that I wanted to do competition. It looked fun, and you would go to Corpus Christi if you go to state, so love traveling. So there was actually an aesthetics competition, and the aesthetics competition consisted of doing a facial, doing a daytime makeup look, and doing a fantasy look. And you know what, I even have the pictures, so I might even like put them right here. But when I was 16, 17 and a junior, I was into makeup, you know. I went from nails, left those, now I'm into makeup. I love doing all kinds of like eyeshadow looks, even just fantasy looks, I guess, if that's what you want to call them. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna join that competition. It sounds fun, something that I want to do. But like I said, you had to do a facial. You had to do a facial, and there was a written test too. So I had to spend all my time learning about facials and skin and different layers of the skin and all that good stuff, sanitation rules, everything. And of course I had to learn how to do a facial. Since I was in a cosmetology program though, that was not our main focus. Our main focus was doing hair, was doing haircuts, was doing hairstyles. So they actually brought in someone else and she helped us out a little bit. But again, it was very, very like minimal what we would learn. Long story short, I went to competition, I placed, but not high enough to be able to perform at state, only to be able to take a test at state. But I still went to state, so who's gonna come? No. Yes, it's true. I did go to state both times, but I didn't compete both times. My senior year, I actually was able to compete at state, and I think I got like 3rd place, which was pretty cool. You know, it's pretty exciting, it's fun, and I got a lot of experience. I got a free trip to Corpus Christi, and that's what really introduced me to the world of aesthetics. I graduated high school, and all of my friends always knew what they wanted to do. Everybody, I feel like, always talks about like, oh, my dream college is this, my dream job is this. I never felt like that during high school, so I always struggled finding out what I wanted to do. And of course I knew my true passion was like aesthetics. Like, of course I loved doing makeup, and I really liked doing facials actually once I like got to dive deeper into it. So guess who went to aesthetic school afterwards? I graduated high school 2018, and that fall I enrolled into aesthetic school. I went to Paul Mitchell. I already made a video about why I went to Paul Mitchell and why I chose that aesthetic school. I really liked it. I graduated April or March of 2019. And a little bit more about my aesthetic school experience. So when I went to esthetician school, I got a lot of comments about, you don't need to go to aesthetic school, like you have your cosmetology license, it'll cover like facials. But like I said, I felt like I didn't get that experience in high school. It was a high school program. There was one year where we didn't even have a teacher for like the majority of the school year, so it was a lot of like, it was not a consistent program for me. Like the years before us, yes, the years after us, yes, but my class specifically, it was not a very consistent like program, if that makes sense. So I personally decided that I wanted to go to esthetician school. I did, graduated, that was in like March, April, I said, and then I traveled the world, left the country for a couple months, and I came back in August. And one of my classmates from esthetician school, she sent a message to our little group chat and said, hey guys, I'm working at a new spa and we're hiring. If anyone wants to come interview, like, feel free. And I was like, okay. Like, I had just gotten back, was gonna start my job hunting. Was gonna start job hunting, and I interviewed. I remember my mom drove me to the interview. It was a Sunday. It was a very like random time. It was like 3 or 4, which I don't know. I'm usually not available Sundays. And I got to the place. I remember walking in, and there was a bunch of people sitting at the front desk, like a good like 6 people, and I was like, whoa. But they were training as well, because the spa opened August of 2019. So that was the same month that I interviewed. I walked in and they were still getting things together and doing trainings and whatnot. I did my interview and, got to tour the spa a little bit, and I ended up getting the job. Like, I wouldn't say surprisingly, because I'm a pretty good interviewee. But here's the thing, is that the spa is 30 minutes from my house. And I didn't really think it through, I wasn't like, oh yeah, it's a 30-minute drive, let me go interview. No, it's a 30-minute drive every day, Some days it's longer than others. Some days I'm like, oh, 30 minutes, that's nothing. But some days I'm like, oh my gosh, I have 30 minutes till I get home. So it definitely took some time getting used to. This is after COVID though, because before COVID I would work like traffic hours, so it would take me like an hour to get to work, which was not fun. But anyways, so yeah, I think it's very important that I acknowledge again that it was a baby spa. Like, they had just opened, so for a very, very, very long time I did not have clients. I did not have appointments. I would take like 9 clients every 2 weeks, and that was a really good week. I spent a lot of my time sitting in the break room, but that helped me get really close to my coworkers. We were all sitting in the break room, it wasn't just me, it was all of us not having clients. That meant that we had to do a lot of marketing. We would walk in the parking lot and put flyers on cars. We would go to different businesses like gyms or like places like Hot Works or Pure Bar or Bar 3, be like, and even then it was like, would you like to sign up for a free chair massage? So and if people had questions, I would answer them about facials, but it's not like that was our main, push. So it was very hard. It was very hard at the beginning. Thankfully, I was in a position where I live with my parents. I was 19, didn't have too many responsibilities. So it wasn't like I depended on the job to, help me, pay my rent, pay for food, stuff like that, So I had that leeway to be able to, stick around. Again, this is an opening spa. This is not like an established spa that already has its clientele and stuff like that. All right, let's see. So, after a little bit, we start to pick up our groove. It's, winter of 2019. We go into 2020. Everybody knows what happens in 2020. Honestly, right before the pandemic, I had finally started, getting into the groove of things, finding out who I am, what I like to do during my facials and whatnot. And then, we decided to go through a global pandemic. And there's one thing I do want to say about the whole pandemic is that during the pandemic, we had a lot of support, like from Hand and Stone, which is where, I don't know if I even said that, if that's where I work. Yeah, I work at Hand and Stone in Coppell. I did say that at the beginning because I remember saying Coppell. We got a lot of support. Like, they were like giving out information all the time. They were like, hey, this is what we're gonna do, like virtual facials, all kinds of ideas to just keep us like calm, because it was a very crazy time. It's our first time ever going through a pandemic like this, on a scale this large for like, us. But I really admired that. I feel like it really added some points to me as far as like how much I like working here. Well, we came back, we got masks going on. Everybody was very, hey, wearing mask, face shield, everything. Clients, it took a while for all of our clients to come back, and I think that even now there are still some clients who are not comfortable, which is totally normal. Everybody's can make their own decision, but it took a while for us to pick back up where we were. Again, we were a new spa. We didn't even get to experience a full 1 year open. So even then, like, looking at our numbers, it was kind of hard to really gauge like when we were going to be busy and when we were going to be slow. So come back from the pandemic, it's kind of hard, I'm still continuing to grow, take a lot of trainings, and I think that around November, December, when we do have our Black Friday gift card sale, all those clients are going to come in, got their gift cards, got them as a gift. They're going to come in and redeem their gift cards. So that's when we got a whole bunch of new clients, turn those new clients into members, and turn those members into regular people, and I feel like I would say around like April, May is when I really hit my stride. And I found out like what works for me, if that makes sense. And now here I am, it's now August, it's 2 years after I got hired, and I can't even tell you how different I feel like I am. When I first started, I tend to be a really shy person. I'm very introverted, don't like to talk to people if there's no need to. If I'm at the grocery store and somebody's like, hey, I'm like, who are you talking to? I'm a stranger, like, don't talk to me. But that's just who I am. I'm not the person that goes out of my way to be like, hey, of course, with a job like mine, you have to. So it took a long time for me to be able to be comfortable in making small talk. To be honest, the pandemic helped, because I would be able to be like, hey, so how have you been? Like, how are you handling this whole pandemic? And it kind of like helped me be able to converse with people more. A couple of different things that I'd like to acknowledge about working at Hand and Stone and why I like it so much. The education for sure is one of the biggest reasons that I love working at Hand and Stone. This is my first esthetician job, so of course I'm coming fresh out of school. Very nerve-wracking. And since I went to Paul Mitchell, I did go to a dermatological partnership school. Hand and Stone does carry Dermalogica as well as Clarity, so in Clarity it's pretty easy to pick up on. So I felt like I kind of already knew, you know, a little bit going in, if that kind of makes sense. They also they also help you become a dermatological expert, which, you know, means that you're taking free classes, you take a little practical, and you become an expert, which comes with really nice perks, because like with product launches, they send you the product, and just different, there's just so much information that they have. Like, they have an abundance of just resources. And let's see, with Clarity, it's the same thing. You can become a Clarity master. They offer you a bunch of informational classes. You take a little test and you become a Clarity master. Same thing with new product releases, you get that product. And fun fact, when you get both your Clarity Masters and your dermatological expert, you become an elite esthetician. When you become an elite esthetician, it's pretty cool because you get a little white coat, and you know, you get to show off that you finished both of those things. And it's just pretty cool. It's a really cool thing to have. It's a conversation starter for sure. Clients will look at you and be like, whoa, like, she's pretty cool. On that topic, I was 19 when I started working at Hand & Stone. I look very young for my age. Right now I have, like, you know, full beat on. Well, I would say a medium beat. And, you know, respectfully, I look like a child some days, and I can't tell you how many times I go to pick up a client. I'm like, hi, my name's Eileen, nice to meet you. And they're like, hi. Because I look so young. I am young, I guess. I'm 21 now. And people, they do not hide the fact that they're disappointed in the fact that they're getting a facial from a child. And that used to really bring me down a lot. But now I kind of see it as like a little challenge. I'm like, you think I'm about to give you a bad facial? I'm about to give you the best facial you ever had. And it's very interesting to see how, you know, at the beginning of a facial, somebody will talk to me very, like, dismissive. And at the end of the facial, they're like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Thank you so much. Like, what's your name? I want to book with you again. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Another super cool thing I like about working at Hand & Stone is that I'm actually Hand & Stone skinfluencer, meaning I get to make social media content for, like, our Instagram and our, like, TikToks and stuff, which is super cool. Honestly, one of my favorite accomplishments so far, just because I get to talk to and meet so many estheticians that I have looked up to since I got hired. You know, people that, you know, they're corporate trainers. They are just amazing people. Like, I can't even express how, like, shocked I was whenever we had our first Zoom meeting and I was, like, in the same Zoom call as the people that I, like, read their, like, Facebook posts and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't belong here. So that's one of my favorite things about working at Hand & Stone. Working at Hand & Stone, working for a spa, there are a couple of things where, you know, it might not be for everyone. So if you are looking to open your own business, then not sure if this is gonna be the best place for you. Since we are a franchise, we do have to follow strict protocols, and you want to make sure to stick to them, because like, you don't want a client to get a facial one place and then go to another place and it's just not consistent. So they're very strict on, like, what comes in what facial, you know. And you do have a little bit of room to be able to make it your own. Like, you can make your own facial massage, you know. It's like not that strict, but it is, if that makes sense. So people who like to do whatever they want to do, this is you know, I don't mind. I like having guidance, you know. I'm the kind of person that's like, please tell me what to do. But let's see, another thing, I think that it also really depends on, like, your management. Like I said, it is a franchise, so every Hand & Stone experience can be different. I have amazing management. Like my Head and Stone is family owned, and you know, I know the whole family. Like they're all very, very kind and genuinely, like, they care about us and they care about our well-being. So I really, really appreciate that, and I think that's what's made them such a successful spa, and making that good environment. Because I remember during my interview that was something that was important to me, is that I didn't want to work in a place where I'm miserable. Like, I don't want to work in a place where there's a lot of drama, stuff like that. I'm not a fan. I mean, we're a spa, we're here to heal people, so it's like, that's not the kind of place that I want to work at. Lastly, I don't know if this is the last thing. Let me just go ahead and start over here. Just to start over, please. Also, working at a spa means that you're gonna work with massage therapists, and just that industry in general. They're gonna be a lot busier than us as estheticians, and that's normal. You know, people love massages. It's easier for people to see the benefit in a massage more than it's easier for them to see the benefit of a facial. But that's our job, you know. It can be like, hey, have you ever had a facial before? So it can be a little bit easy to be discouraged, looking at their books and then looking at yours, or just looking at how many people come and ask for massages in particular. But working with massage therapists is really cool, because you know, you can get to know them, and then they are able to recommend their clients to you. You can be like, and y'all can just have that like partnership, you know. As far as pay, it's commission based. When we originally got hired, we were on hourly because there's no appointments. But then, you know, once you start to get those appointments and you get those full books, you don't want to work hourly, like so you get paid hourly. Each Hand and Stone is different, and then so for each, you don't get, what did I say? You get paid a commission, right? So each Hand and Stone is different, meaning no, they're not going to be the same. It's not like I can be like, hey, I make this much for a facial, this is what you're gonna make. I can't. It's different, you know. So for example, you make a certain amount for a facial, a classic facial. If you do upgrades like an exceptional or a peel or LED, you get paid more for each thing, and you also get paid for retail as well. So your paycheck really depends on you, to be honest. Like, you can make your paycheck as good or as bad as you want to. And again, even if you don't have that many clients, as long as you know, really focus on those few clients that you do have, you can make your paycheck, you know, look really nice. So yeah. But yeah, overall, I feel like it's been a good experience for me. I've met so many great people, so many different estheticians, so many just amazing clients as well. Like, there are some clients that I've been seeing them since I got hired, you know, and they've stuck with me, and it's awesome because you build such a great relationship with them, and it's like you have your own little friends, you know. I just feel like I've grown so much, even in just my numbers, and in my client retention and everything, and just on how outspoken I am. I wouldn't say I'm a people person at all, but I'm not the same shy person that I was 2 years ago. So again, it really depends on which, you know, spa you work at, but I've had nothing but good experiences. I would say do your research, you know, if there's any way that, you know, you could talk to an esthetician from a location or somewhere like that, kind of see what it's like. Definitely would recommend that. Like I said, there are Hand and Stones closer to me, but after talking to some estheticians, I feel like that's not the right environment for me. I am so thankful to be where I am now, so thankful for what I have. I am gonna include some little videos and pictures. I made a little picture, not a little picture, a little video, and posted it on my Instagram. I'm also gonna put my Instagram, follow me at Eileen's Aesthetics. And yeah, if you have any other questions or anything like that, don't hesitate to leave a comment. I'd be happy to answer any questions.